So the other day, I went to go hang out with my friend. She's a few years older than me. She has 4 dogs, all of whose names I know, all of whom I adore. I sat on her couch and I could remember the names of 3 dogs. I could not remember the name of Elliot, the dog. I know his name now. I spent hours on her couch too afraid to make it real and to ask what his name was. Partially because I felt like I would be an asshole for doing that. Partly because, like, I don't want to admit I need to wear my glasses. I don't want to admit that I couldn't remember his name. And with a family history of Alzheimer's, dementia, I thought for a split second, maybe something is actually wrong with my brain. Nobody mentioned estrogen is neuroprotective, aka it protects your brain. Brain, protective. Nobody mentioned that. And nobody mentions it when things start to fluctuate and that it takes your cognitive clarity. That's why I'm here. We are discussing the 82 symptoms of perimenopause that are documented by women across 6 different books and some research studies that I have looked at. Because we fucking need to. All right? Perimenopause starts in your 30s, can start in your 30s. Again, not medical advice. I'm not a doctor. Cognitive symptoms can too. Today, the cognitive category is 6 symptoms, and the ones that make women question their own minds. Estrogen, neuroprotective, protects the brain. Estrogen receptors all over the brain, including the prefrontal cortex, which handles executive function, planning, and decision making, and the hippocampus, which handles memory formation. When estrogen fluctuates, both of these symptoms are affected directly. Not stress, not aging, specific hormonal mechanisms affecting specific brain structures. Dr. Lisa Mosconi's research on perimenopause Alzheimer's connection says that estrogen loss in the menopause transition is linked to accelerated brain aging. This is documented, peer-reviewed research that is not making it into mainstream clinical conversations. Why? Cognitive symptoms in perimenopause are real, they're hormonally driven, and they're under-researched dramatically. Can't tell I'm pissed about that, can you? All right, here we go. Brain fog. Described consistently across all 6 books as thinking through molasses. I prefer honey, whatever. Difficulty with clarity and processing speed. That's been a hard one for me. Not tiredness, it's a specific kind of cognitive resistance. It's like looking at a wall and knowing if you could just move the wall, you'd see the word. Memory lapses. Forgetting Elliot, the dog's name, crushed me. Words. Calling things that they're not. I know my teenage daughter and my partner and I, this happened to me last week. I don't even fucking know what they were now, but I should have written them down because it was fucking hilarious. And that was the only way I got through it, was laughing about it. Forgetting recent events. Short-term recall declining. I was reading a recipe and I know what I needed to go get and I made it to the spice cabinet and I'll be fucking damned if I can remember what the fuck the spice was. The difference between normal forgetting and word retrieval difficulty. You know exactly what you mean. The word is simple, but it is not accessible. Tip of the tongue becomes your permanent address. Everything lives there. It's on the tip of my tongue. It might be an hour, it might be 5 days, but it's going to eventually come out. This one can be socially humiliating, and our ability to dispel the social humiliation that can come with it lands on us. We're 51% of the population, right? Difficulty concentrating. Wow. Difficulty concentrating. Do I have that one in the fucking bag? Shortened attention span? Yep. And I feel like an asshole, but like I also process things really fast, but I'm like, come on, come on, come on, come on, get to the point. Please get to the point when I'm talking to people. It's almost painful to listen because I know that I don't have the ability to retain a focus on what somebody's talking about all the time. Fluctuating, right? This isn't all the time, every time. It fluctuates. In a world that is already demanding your attention from 100 directions, this one has compounding effects on work, parenting, social life, relationships, difficulty concentrating, killer. All right, cognitive overload. It's like I'm reading my book, right? Like this, literally, I feel like I have all these symptoms right now. Cognitive overload, feeling overwhelmed by normal amounts or what are perceived as normal amounts, which we could debate that. Normal amounts of mental demand. Things that used to be normal are now exhausting. Like you almost don't even want to think about doing it because it's excruciatingly painful, and you feel like you've got a cramp in your brain. Often this is going to get misread as burnout or depression, um, especially by medical professionals, and it's being driven by your hormones. Who knew? All right. Last cognitive symptom: increased Alzheimer's risk. This is not a symptom in the traditional sense, but it belongs in the conversation. Estrogen, as you know, neuroprotective, protects the brain. It declines and accelerates your brain aging. This is the information that we women deserve to have to make informed choices. This is the information we need to take to our primary care providers, to our nurses, to our doctors, and say, hey, check this out. Let's have the conversation. So, what have I done to support cognitive function through perimenopause? Peptides. That's where I started in August of last year. Peptides, because I was freaking the fuck out. I hadn't found a doctor. Quite frankly, I was tired of doctors and nurses. I was over it. So I started with peptides. I started researching. I started reading all the books. This is what started it all for me, that book. Peptides have drastically helped. Go research it. You want to know more? Hit me up. We will have the conversation. I didn't give up on finding a doctor, and I walked in by the fucking luck of the universe and found a nurse who was like, yeah, let's have this conversation. Yes, I've read those books. Yes, I want to help you. Hallelujah. And now I'm on HRT, oral progesterone at night. Man, has my sleep improved. Vaginal estrogen, because, quite frankly, I don't want my vagina atrophying. Did you know about that? We'll discuss that another time. Vaginal estrogen and testosterone. So between HRT, all of the peptides, all of the HRT, and looking at my life a little differently and realizing that the way I used to work out and the way I used to eat may not be supporting me the most right now, has helped. I won't pretend like I don't forget names and words and everything, but I feel like as long as I'm trying, it gets better. Sleep is mission critical for me. I need way more sleep than I've ever needed in my whole life, and I've always been a good sleeper. When you're lacking in sleep, the disruption in your cognitive ability can be very pronounced. You cannot address your brain fog without looking at lack of sleep. Progesterone, you want to talk about peptides, we can talk about those. Just let me know. Magnesium glycinate, other thing, zinc, other thing, L-ornithine. Like a quick search is going to get you all of this. Nutrition and brain health, making sure that you are getting quality food. I stand behind things like creatine. Not going to recommend caffeine here. But that, anyway, exercise, move your body. My sister told me this the other day. I'm a personal trainer. I've been a personal trainer. I've come in and out of owning my own gym and training people. But I've stopped the high intensity interval training for now. I've set aside my CrossFit gear and I have moved to more sustainable at home dumbbell kettlebell work. And then when it was cold and crappy, I would get on my treadmill and do all of my like phone scrolling on the treadmill, killing two birds with one stone, getting it accomplished. Um, Drastically helped my mental health as well. So these kinds of movements support your neurogenesis and your cognitive resilience without spiking cortisol, which is a whole nother conversation for another one of these. So estrogen is what? Neuroprotective. And when it fluctuates, your brain feels what? It feels it. So this is hormonal, not personal. We need to get people educated. We need to talk about it. Yeah. So next episode, shocks, electric shocks, and zingers, body itching, the one that makes people think that something is seriously wrong. Yep, those body shocks. Oh my God, the amount of you who are like, oh my God, I thought I was dying or I thought X was happening. Very common symptom of perimenopause. Has a cognitive symptom ever made you fear something was drastically wrong with your brain? Drop it in the comments. And if you haven't done something to love yourself today, please do that. And if you don't know what that looks like, send me a message. I'll help a girl out. So until next time, all my love.